Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos. And if you're here for a second, third, or fourth time, thank you so much for coming back and getting creative. Alright guys, it's going to be another fun painting today, so grab your supplies, turn on your favorite music, and as always, remember to just kind of relax and have fun. And oh, don't forget to take your progress photos. So for this one, we don't have a traceable today, so we're just using a blank canvas. And we're going to start with a light blue, and we're going to get that sky in there, and then we'll put some water in, and then we'll start putting our elements on top of this. So I am using the large flat brush, and to make our light blue color, we're going to start with white and add a little bit of blue. And you'll notice that a small amount of pigment will go a long way to make your light blue. Now, want to go maybe about 3 or 4 or 5 inches from the bottom. Basically, you want to be about an inch below the center of your canvas. We don't want to put this line right in the exact center. So it could be 3 or 4 inches from the bottom of your canvas. Adjust for what you need. And here I'm demonstrating a few different brush strokes to try. The X marks is kind of my favorite, my stress relieving brush stroke. And it's the one that I tend to do in quite a few of my videos, so feel free to do that on yours. And we're going to basically fill up this space with this light blue, and then you'll see here that I'm adding a little bit more blue to my mixture, not much. And you'll also notice that I actually have to mix my color a couple of times. So if you have to do that at home and your shades may be a little lighter or darker than the last one, just embrace that. That's totally okay. It is good to have some variety in your background. It just makes for a nicer painting. Now, those of you that are on a stretched canvas, I do recommend that you bring this color around the sides of the canvas, and it's easier to do it now while you have the color made. And again, like I was talking about a minute ago with mixing colors, you can see where my next batch that I mixed, it was a little bit lighter. We're just going to kind of play with that. It gives some good variety in your sky. Now, if you're also one of my first time painters, or if you've been painting with me for a little bit and you're holding your breath, please inhale, relax. This is just painting. It's not the end of the world. And you will notice that during the process of painting, you're going to be so focused on painting that you kind of forget about the rest of the world for a little bit. And that's my biggest thing that I want more people painting. This is a good therapeutic, stress relieving activity. All right, so now we're going to go down into the water, and I did use teal for the water. If you do not have teal, you can use a medium blue, going a little bit darker than what you did on the sky. So again, if you don't have one of the colors, use what you have. Don't feel like you have to go buy brand new supplies just to paint. You can also complete any of my videos using crayons, markers, colored pencils, watercolors, anything. The important thing is to just get creative and kind of get lost in the process of painting. So with the water, same thing with the sky. If you mix your color a second or third time and it's a little lighter or darker like I'm doing right here, or if you want to do it intentionally, get your water to where you want it, and it is okay to have variations in your shade. If you end up going too dark and you want to go a little lighter, grab some of that white and you can blend that directly into your background. So I do recommend taking progress photos, and I did let this dry before I moved into the mountains. And I have moved down to a middle flat brush, and I'm making a medium pink, and that is white with a little bit of red. Start off light, you can always add more red. And we're going to put these mountains on here and just kind of go the general shape of what I'm doing. These do not have to be exact. We will be putting purple mountains on top of this or in front of this. And same thing with the sky in the background. As you mix your shade of pink, if it's a little lighter or darker each time you mix it, that's okay. Just embrace that. All right, so we're filling in those mountains. I'm not quite bringing it fully down to that horizon line between the water and the sky. We will bring our line down with this light purple for the next batch of mountains. And to make your light purple that is white with a little bit of purple, I'm going for about a medium purple here. If you want to go a little bit lighter or darker, go right ahead. And I am going right on top of the pink mountains. And that pink paint is still wet, so you'll actually notice how it kind of blends in a little bit. And I kind of like that. You can let your paint fully dry before you add your purple mountains if you want to. I get a little excited painting, so I just jump right into the next step, and I have a feeling quite a few of you at home are doing the same thing. So now I'm actually grabbing that direct purple. It's still kind of mixing with that pink underneath, but it's also getting a bit of a darker element in there. And I am kind of holding that brush at a 45-degree angle to help smooth out my brush strokes. So if you want a little bit smoother or you're kind of getting irritated with all the brush marks showing up, hold that brush at that 45-degree angle, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you. Now we're actually going to grab the white and put on highlights, and the paint is still wet as I'm adding this white, and you can see how quickly it diffuses to make a light lavender or a really light color. And as you're applying to yours, I want you to just observe where I place it and mimic that on your canvas to the best of your ability. Kind of thinking of this as a highlight. You could also think of them as snow caps on the mountains, whatever you feel like doing. All right, this is coming along nicely. You guys are doing a great job. I hope you are enjoying the process of moving the paint on the canvas. So we are going to move into white paint now and put a big moon in there. And I like to do a crescent moon, so I start off with a C shape and then just kind of mimic that a little bit smaller and then fill it in. I am using the small pointy brush for this, but sometimes I would even use that middle flat brush. So if you use a different brush, totally okay. And if you want to do a full moon, you can place a dot where you want the center of your moon and then just keep making that dot bigger until you have your full moon. And that's easier to do than trying to draw a perfect circle and then fill it in. All right, another place to pause the video and take your progress photo. I do want everything to be fully dry as you move into this next step. And we're going to be putting our trees on here. Actually, first we're going to put the ground. I forgot about that. I am using that large flat brush and just kind of did a nice little, almost like a smile line, and then filled that in. And then we're going to be putting the trees on top of it. So now I'm using that big brush sideways, and we're basically putting the tree trunks in. And you can have as many or as few trees as you want. I add quite a few to this one, and I do have them at different distances, different tallness and shortness. So like I said, add as many trees as you want to your painting. All right. Now, I want you to kind of watch a little bit of the video before you start applying the foliage to your tree. I'm still using that large flat brush. You can move down to the middle flat brush. And I want you to notice how I'm holding it kind of perpendicular to the canvas, keeping it kind of skinny on top, and then almost like flaring out the branches as I get closer to the ground. And I'm literally holding that brush perpendicular to the canvas, tapping the brush on the canvas, and just kind of moving down the tree. Also note that every now and then, I do go back and grab more paint. So kind of play with that. And if you need to switch between the different size brushes, so that way you can keep it kind of skinnier and closer to the tree trunk at the top of the tree, and then get it wider as it goes down towards the ground. And as I start getting into filling in all of the trees, you'll notice where they overlap. They kind of form one nice conglomerate of trees. So after you do all your trees, get out of your chair, look at the painting from a distance of 5 to 10 feet away and go, oh, I need more foliage there. Or maybe I need to overlap here. So do that once you've gotten most of your foliage on there. And when I would teach my in-person classes, this was always a very, very favorite application because you're literally holding that brush perpendicular to the canvas and pretty much stabbing the canvas with your brush. So if you have any frustrations, any irritations from this week or from the month, take it out on your canvas. Your canvas can handle it, the brushes can handle it, and you will feel better at the end of this process. You may not solve your problem or your issue, but you'll at least feel better about it and can move forward with whatever it is that you need to. Um, and that's one of the best things about painting. It just kind of takes the other parts of your life, gives you this nice creative outlet so that way you're kind of refreshed and recharged to go tackle those aspects in your life or your work or business. So that's why I push creativity and painting to pretty much anybody I meet. All right, so it's looking good. Feel free to take your progress pictures every now and then. Get out of your chair, look at it from a distance. If you do realize you're holding your breath, if you exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, it will help your process. And if you do realize you're holding your breath, laugh at yourself a little bit. I still do it all the time when I'm starting a new painting, and I've been painting for quite a few decades now. So it's something that always comes up, and we don't realize we're doing it until someone kind of calls us out. So try to realize when you're holding your breath and take a big inhale and enjoy the process. All right. If you want to do this with greens and yellows, you can switch this out. You don't have to use the black for the silhouette tree lines. And same thing if you want to add highlights on here, you can do this with some white paint and give almost even like snow highlights on the branches. So I encourage you to get extra creative and then send me pictures. I really like seeing your guys' work, and it keeps me encouraged to make other videos. So just putting one more layer on the white moon just because it was, my paint is kind of transparent using student grade paint. And then that kind of brings you into the conclusion of the painting. If you want to put stars in the sky or birds flying in the sky, go for it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and getting creative. I look forward to doing this again with you. And until then, cheers. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the process of painting, and I hope how you liked how your paintings turned out. I'm really proud of you for painting at home. As you're uploading your pictures to social media, please tag me at or hashtag paintwithlovejoy, or email me your pictures, paintwithlovejoy@gmail.com. I really enjoy seeing those. I try to post them on social media and encourage other beginners and first-time painters to try painting. So please share this with your community and keep getting creative. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, things you want me to paint in the future, go ahead and leave a comment, and I will answer them as quickly as I can and try to get those new paintings in my production list and on the rotation. So thanks again for taking time out of your day to get creative with me. Don't wait too long to do your next one. And until then, cheers.